The Add to Cart button on your Squarespace website is designed to match your primary button style, but it doesn't have to. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and in this video, I'll teach you how to customize your Add to Cart button using just a little bit of custom CSS. Now, all of the codes I'm about to share with you are available for free on my blog, and I'll link to that blog post directly underneath this video. But there are a lot of important details about this code that you'll want to customize to make it uniquely yours. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and I'll teach you exactly how to customize that Add to Cart button using your own CSS. Let's get started. Here we are inside Squarespace looking at my storefront where we can see the Add to Cart button. We're going to be adjusting this, but we're also going to adjust it for the product page and the product block. If we click on an individual product, we have an Add to Cart button here. And on this main storefront, I've added a page section where we have a product content block. All of these can be customized separately. So let's go ahead and start by adding some custom code to our site. On the left-hand side of my screen, I'm going to navigate to Pages. Then I'll select Custom Code and then Custom CSS. If your menu does not look like mine, press the / key on your keyboard and search for your CSS panel to navigate there directly. Now I'll go ahead and zoom in on the screen here and we'll navigate up so we can see the Add to Cart button and we'll add our first custom code. This code right here instantly changes that background to be bright red. Now we can do so much more than just change the background, so let's get to it. I'll start by changing that color to a hex color code that I prefer, something a little bit lighter on the eyes. Now it's hard to read the text Add to Cart, so let's change the color of the font as well. I've now changed that to a dark gray. How about we change the shape next? A border radius code will curve in the corners. If we use something like 50px, it's going to create this pill shape, but we can also change that to a percentage value to create an oval or a smaller px value, and that's going to create just a slightly rounded corner. Let's go ahead and add a border to make that change even more obvious. There we go. Now our cart button looks a lot different. One other thing I like to adjust is the padding. This is a very large button, but it doesn't have to be. Adding the code padding 10px is going to reduce the height of the button, but notice that it's still full width. If we want to reduce the width of the button, we can use a percentage value like this. This adjusts the width to 50%. Now this button's going to be aligned to the left, but we can change that alignment after we change the width by adding a simple margin code to make up the difference. In this example, I said margin left 50%. If you want it to be centered, change that to 25% and you'll be good to go. Now I'll go ahead and select Save because I want to show you all of the changes that we just made are only happening on this product list. We haven't affected the Add to Cart button that's down here for the product block or the Add to Cart button on the individual page. Those go by their own unique names. This button here is actually a product detail button. So I'm going to add a new line of code that says product detail SQS Add to Cart button, and here we change the background color to blue. Now you can add any of these other customizations like we used for product list, and if you want the list and the detail page to look the same, check this out. We're going to take this selector right here, we're going to add a comma and paste it here at the very beginning of our code. Now if I remove this extra line of code, we're going to see our Add to Cart button now matches. Personally, I try to avoid this and keep them separate because of things like the margin and the width. It might not look perfect for this different style of layout. So again, I recommend keeping them separate so you can be really controlled with the way the layout for this page changes compared to the product list page. Let's go ahead and select Save. We'll go back to our product list, and I'll show you here at the very bottom of the page, I also have a product content block. Let's change this Add to Cart button as well. I'll paste a new line of code here in my CSS. And now we'll see this button has become yellow and we changed the text to be a different color so it's easier to see. Again, you can apply any of these different property value combinations you want, but this right here is what isolates the product content block, separate from the product detail page and the product list, which is where we first started editing. Now, I just realized we did all of this cool stuff, but I forgot to share one of my favorite codes, and that is the hover effect. Looking back at this product list page, let's go ahead and slide one more code in right here that creates a hover effect. This will change the background to green and make sure it's fully visible when we hover over the Add to Cart button that's inside our product list. Check this out. Now we have a hover effect happening here. Let's go ahead and change up the font color. on a hover so it's easier to read. There we go. Now we have a unique hover effect specifically for the Add to Cart button on the product list page. You can apply this same technique to the product page button and the product block. Before we call this tutorial a wrap, I've got one more code to share with you. I'm going to enter a new line here, and I want you to notice what we just did. We changed the text from Add to Cart to Order Now, and we did that for every single button here on our Squarespace site. Let's select Save and look at the product page so you can see here, this also says Order Now. This new code that we added changed the font size for the default text to be 0 so we can't see it. And then we added our own new text that has the content Order Now. And we changed the font size there so it's visible within our buttons. This right here changes every single Add to Cart button, but let's say we only want this on the product detail page. We can go ahead and add that text to the beginning of our code right here. Pay close attention, the two spots that I've added this, I've said product detail, add to cart text font size 0, and product detail, add to cart text before, then we have our content and our font size. Let's select save, and we'll go back to our main store, and now you can see here, it says add to cart. It no longer says order now for either the product block or the product listing. That's only on the individual product page. All right, we just covered a lot of content, so here's a quick code recap. If you want to change the product list button, use the selector product list SQS add to cart button. If you want to change the product page, that individual product detail page, use product detail SQS add to cart button. And if you want to change the product block, use product block SQS add to cart button. Underneath this video, you'll find a link to my original blog post where I have all of those codes that we just used labeled for you so you can grab the correct one and add it to your own Squarespace website. Just make sure that you customize the important parts of the code like the background color or the font size to make it match the unique style of your own Squarespace website. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, let me know in the comments, and if you have a question about Squarespace, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help. Thanks so much for watching, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. Good news, Squarespacer. We finally have an AI that truly understands Squarespace. Meet Custom Cody. Built specifically for Squarespace users and trained on every nuance of the program, Custom Cody is your AI-powered assistant for effortless, expert-level Squarespace customization. Available now at customcody.com.